just coming to Nigeria because it is still be the same infrastructure that they will be working with. I don't see them doing any magic.
I mean, like, we don't have a cure yet. What most countries and of the world are doing, and most doctors are doing, are trying to contain the virus, trying to flatten the curve, so we don't have more people contract the virus. And I think that's what we should do here in Nigeria. For me, I still hold the belief that if we had other states in the country locked down the same time as Lagos and Ogun states were locked down, just the same way we had here in River State, as they just lock down your borders, we wouldn't have as much cases as we have here. Now we have a case in our hands in Kano State. We don't have testing centers. Samples have to be taken to Abuja. I still feel the NCDC could have made it.
But talking about the NCDC, I mean, the NCDC should have also considered that Kano State is one of the biggest, most populated cities, has one of the most populated cities in the country, and at least should get a functioning testing center, not with the one that they just recently suspended that could not even test up to 45 cases.
Like I said, there's politics with this thing, and see, these guys are politicians and they know themselves. Now, yesterday I was watching the presidential task force briefing, and a journalist made a comment, and Ayade is what, PDP, right?
Yeah, Ben Ayade.
Yeah, Ben Ayade is PDP, right? Now, he texted the Minister of Health. Now, let's do politics now, for a bit. Minister of Health is APC, right? And then he texted him and said, "Guy, that thing that guy sent is fake." And I don't know if it's the Minister of Health, but one of the members of the presidential task force, and the guy came out and said, and he read it. I said, "I just got the message from Ben." They know themselves. That is what I'm trying to. They know themselves. All of these politicians know. So whenever you see maybe a governor Mickey coming out to shout, there's something he must have heard. There's a piece of information that must have reached him. They call it intelligence. So they know themselves, and they know what each and every one of them is capable of doing. So they just feel like, okay, see, these guys might play politics with it. And some people in government might also be saying, Kano State, how? I mean, I was reading the news the other day.
And
that's what I'm going to.
Because
I was reading the news the other day, and the Minister of Health says, I don't understand how. I mean, this is even growing faster than it did in Lagos. Than it did in Lagos. And Lagos is the most populated city in Nigeria. So what is happening?
It could be because of the 10 billion.
And maybe.
And the governor, recently, the governor of Kano State had also asked for, how much did they ask from the federal government again? I'm trying to find that out. But just recently, I think yesterday or today, he had asked the federal government to support the state with a certain sum. I'm going to get that.
I think the NCDC really needs to test those people and ensure.
But the NCDC is the one doing the testing. But yet again, the NCDC does not understand how
they contract.
There's that spike.
But hold on, if the NCDC is doing the testing and it's confirming that these people are
that means they do have it.
Are positive, it then means that there's no tendency for politics.
There might be. Allow the state government.
For example, I'm going to say, Governor Wike has said that there is the intentional infecting.
I was going to say that.
So there's the possibility. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm just saying. You asked the question. You said, how come it was allowed to grow in such a number? And I'm just saying there's possibility that everybody was like, these governors might just be playing politics, and everybody was carefree, everybody was careless, and everybody's like, I just one, I just two, and then before you know, it spiked. You never know. I mean, this is cash cow. You said yesterday some people make money from it. So
look at this as a cash cow, because at the end of the day, the federal government treats the patient. You get the 10 billion, you say you're treating, and at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation. So there's that possibility.
Okay. All right. We're asking the question: who has failed who? Not just in Kano State, but in other states, Nigeria. The situation we have on ground, the rapid in the number of coronavirus patients in various states, and then the situation where we do not have enough test centers, and state government as well have not also put in effort by providing sample collection centers, so that at least we hasten up the sample collections and testing of these people to ascertain whether they are positive or negative. So we're asking who has failed who in the fight against coronavirus. 0817-0000951, 0810-951-0951. Sending your text messages as well to the number 0701-9339-962. We have some text messages. We would take those first before we go to the phone lines.
Okay, this one says, good day. Honestly, I want to ask, did I personally do any bad being a Nigerian? I want to I want to tell my fellow Nigerians that what we have are rulers and not leaders. All they do is stay in their offices or houses and make decisions that would not favor the middle or lower classes. Now they're asking us to go for e-learning. Okay, I agree with that idea, but only if the government will provide the following: a smartphone, data, constant light, and most important here.
I think that message is for our first
from
half
the
of
first
the
time.
show.
Okay, yeah,
All right.
GP from Indele. This one says the government at all levels in Nigeria is taking the easy route of lockdown in an attempt to curtail the spread of COVID-19. Their brains should not be only limited to lockdown. Other responsible governments in other countries are carrying out massive testing at a record level. Applications have been developed to track those who have been in contact with COVID-19 patients in saner climes. Food items are also delivered at doorsteps of their citizens. Money is paid to bank accounts of individuals and corporate organizations affected by COVID-19. The government should copy sensibly. Thomas, I agree with you, especially the paying of money into the accounts.
Okay, you know what? Let's take some calls. 95.1 FM.
Good afternoon, Bolu.
Good afternoon
to you.
Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Well,
Good afternoon.
Pando Obina is my name.
You're welcome, Obina. Go on.
I think North has failed. You remember when at the initial time, at the section of this COVID-19 in Nigeria, most of the governors were busy deceiving their followers. In Abia State, the governor said that Abia State is in the Bible that COVID-19 is not coming. In Abia State, the governor was saying that COVID-19 is for their party, it's not for our own party, and so on and so forth. Instead of them to go into what Lagos State was doing, they are playing politics here and there. They failed. Even in Kano now, are you aware that the Kano State governor have relaxed the curfew, or would I say the lockdown in that thing, just because of Ramadan? But if you go to Medina, go to Mecca, all those places are in lock and key. I think the governors have failed. They didn't do anything. They didn't put in place anything so that the NCDC and other people can come and help them to carry out the
All right.
So they are that have failed woefully, and they are even failing mostly now. That is my take. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. 95.1 FM. Hello.
Yeah, I remember you calling from Port Harcourt.
All right. You're welcome, maybe. Go on.
Yes, my opinion, who has failed who? In as much as we let our leaders to fight for the right of the common man, give us the necessary amenities which is common to the Western world, light, good road, good health system, and whatever view for common man to feel at home. I believe this is the right call for our leaders to think inward. What do I mean? The COVID-19 has given us the opportunity now to tell not just meeting in order to close borders for more 14 days. No. But what do we do in future to come? This is the right time now to tell themselves, all the governors, that look, going to Abuja for sharing of money to end. What do I mean? Let us produce and manage what we have in our state so that we can be able to take care of our state and the people, and we give percentage to the center. Let center has little, whatever it is, project, and let the state manage themselves. This is now going to Lagos
you actually realize that this is not the time to play. I mean, the federal government, this is actually the federal government's function to actually ensure that lives and properties of Nigerians are protected. And this is not the time to say whether states should manage. This is health. Even in the US, even in the UK, all over the world, right now, the central is the one in charge of tackling coronavirus, not the states. Because yet again, I said, this is not the time to now play politics. This is not the time to now play
the blame game.
Blame game or regionalism.
Yes, I agree with you, my brother. But now it's overburdened to the center, to the federal, isn't it? It's overburdened to them. They are the ones to dish out instructions to these governors, if we are to go by that. But what I mean is that let's say to handle the situation by themselves. They are running up and down. We have to go test Lagos. What for? State should have having these facilities before now, knowing that what they are there is leaders. They think ahead. But what we are here after is looting. This is not the right time, my brother. In as much as the center, yes, they dish out information. The state governor, what are they doing? This is their little responsibilities. Let's leave this sharing formula of a thing.
I agree with you. Sharing, but sharing, you don't get it. Sharing formula has got nothing to do with what we're currently experiencing. This is not sharing formula time.
I understand, but had it been we are practicing this for long, states now wouldn't have been running up and down where to go to for tests and who to handle the situation. The doctors should have at least handle your doctors, train them, let them be ready for any eventuality. I'm running up for the right thing. Our leaders should wake up, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's take some text messages. This one from Mr. Anonymous in Port Harcourt says, please don't share the blame of government with any state government. Aviation and NCDC are in the exclusive list of the federal government. They failed to shut down the airports early enough and are also responsible for testing centers and kits across the country. I believe there are more cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria more than confirmed. Our testing capacity is just too poor. That message was from Anonymous in Port Harcourt. This one says, good afternoon. From what we have seen, the best and safest way to suppress the coronavirus is containment. When many states down south were sensitizing their people to obey the health protocols, the governors up north were not doing the same. So people there were behaving as if nothing was happening. The people have themselves, their governments to blame and not the NCDC. Okiete Solomon from Degema. This one says, good afternoon, the three wise guys. Kano and Northern people Northerners blaming the NCDC for failing them. Who is not going to fail? Even the government has failed us. Maybe the three wise guys would never fail us. Majesty from Port Harcourt. Only God
don't trust me
cannot
so
fail.
much. Don't trust me so much.
But you see, the truth of the matter is, if we don't put all hands on deck, we would fail ourselves.
Yeah, we'd all fail ourselves.
That's the truth of the matter.
You just read a report where you said the Kano State governor was asking the federal government for 15 billion naira. And so Kalada might be right when he goes with his conspiracy theories that, some of this might just be to, make some money.
Make some money out of it.
This one says, how come the PDP government did not park during Ebola? Ebola is similar to COVID-19. The APC-led federal government have failed. Please, what is the difference between the president and the presidency? I believe Nigeria is being governed by the presidency. Maxwell, yes. By the presidency, of course.
The president
is the presidency. I mean, this one says, please, River State governor locked down the state before the federal government did. Lady, don't understand what you're saying, but yeah. This one, Bolu, Kalada, and Wealth. Where is the 6-year budget of billions of naira allocated to the hospital in Aso Rock that does not have paracetamol, as alleged by Aisha? We are unfortunate to have this particular government. STY from Rumu Parali. I think we should take some calls now. Go back to the
95.1 FM. Okay, lost that one. 95.1 FM.
Hello. Well,
good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, greetings, especially to man of the people.
Austin, I greet you right back here.
Yes, seriously, I don't know why Kano incident is being blamed on the NCDC. There is no need for that. See, NCDC is trying. Look at when it's just like Canada said something. People, it's not setting up a testing lab. It's not something you go to market and buy. You have to. They are imported. Look at when they started. It was just 3 centers. Today they have capacity of 3,000 people. They have tried. So now the people I'm blaming the people. Nigerians, when you tell them something, they don't want to hear. They don't even want to listen. You understand? They know that this thing started more in the south. It was more in the south, not even in the north. It is trying to hit the north, especially Kano. They were careless. You understand? They were careless. Now, if you look at it, I don't even blame the state because the state governors are also doing their part. Like Bayelsa State, they've tested 265 people already. And when they take the sample, they take it to Kolobiri from their onward movement to Iroha Specialist Hospital, Edo State. And then they have to say all of those tests have come back negative. So the governors are trying, like Bayelsa State governor is really trying. They make sure that They don't, of course, they don't even do
But
random
Lawson,
testing.
in as much as I agree with you, I also want you to understand that the federal government is also trying.
See, the federal government is trying, state government trying, NCDC trying. It is the people. The people don't want to hear. They think that it is something to joke about, something to Kano State and the North. Don't forget, they came earlier and said they will not go on total lockdown. They will not go on total this. They will not. They were careless. And now look at
but is that the people or the government? I mean, it's the government that said that they would not lock down because apparently Kano State is the food hub and also not Kano State, the North is the food hub and also commercial center of Nigeria. So is that the people or the government? I mean, the government should have seen beforehand that this thing spreads. Right, the state government should have seen beforehand that it spreads, and when it comes to the North, they probably are not even ready because of the population and the state of health facilities.
Now, if the government says they will not go on lockdown, the people themselves, they get the information. NCDC, every day I get text message from them. You understand?
Oh, so the people should have gone on self-inflicted lockdown?
Because you know that the situation is like this. You on your own. It is not